Building this cottage tonight, I realized something. The most vivid memory I have from this place isn't the cottage. It isn't the lake. It isn't even the mushroom picking. It's a little broken kitty plastic shovel, which probably sounds ridiculous, but by the end of tonight's episode, I think it'll make a little bit more sense. And it's funny how memories work like that. You forget most of the big things, but somehow the little details stick around. And one of the details I remember most clearly from that cottage is what it felt like after a rainfall. Because rain in Minecraft always reminds me of those mornings in Quebec at the cottage. Tonight, I'm working on completing the cottage floor, the boat dock, and a flower garden by the river. It's been a hectic day, and probably like you, I need to unwind before trying to get to sleep tonight. So come stay for a while and, we'll keep each other company while I build and you sleep. So welcome to episode 6 of this cozy cottage building series. This is the quiet corner of the internet. You won't find any loud commentary, no tutorials, no high energy gaming, fighting monsters. Here we just leave the noise at the door. This is a place to relax and breathe and refuel. So welcome, and let's carry on. And the rain is really coming down now. Glad I left the cats underneath the canopy of the trees so they don't get wet. Yeah, this rain reminds me of mornings at the cottage and in our place in Quebec. And if you're new here as well, also I'm just trying to recreate from memory a cottage that our family used to visit from my childhood. And this reminds me of just this kind of atmosphere. All this rain reminds me of, how it used to be. Smelling the wet moss, the smell of damp wood and raindrops and dew on everything. And the funny thing is, I don't remember the building nearly as much as I remember the sounds. So things like the rain, the sounds of the forest, the pitter-patter on the roof. And I do remember that, as the rain started, you could always hear the rustling of the animals just trying to find cover and shelter. And it was nice and peaceful for a while. So let's carry on for a little bit and keep getting some more resources. See how much I can get here. I do want oak flooring for the cottage, so I'm chopping down a bunch of oak trees and then we will replant them later. I remember the robins. They were always the first birds to come out after rainfall. They were so thrilled as all the bugs and the worms would come out, and it was like a buffet for them after any rainfall. All you can eat worm buffet. Their big orange bellies hopping around. I just remember running from window to window in the cottage, trying to spot one without spooking it. So birds are definitely part of the childhood memory of cottage. When we didn't have a fancy cottage. It was just big enough for a couple of cots, a little kitchenette, couch, and some chairs. It wasn't fancy, but it was a nice gathering spot. It was a 3-season cottage, and when the weather got warmer, would make the trek up there. Definitely remember the smell of campfire. That was fun. And if you wish to share, if you have any childhood memories of camping or a cottage or anything like that, if you wish to share, go for it. I'd love to hear your story as well, what you remember. Yeah, let me get started on the flooring here, because we definitely didn't have grass as the flooring in our cottage. I wanted to get the outer structure built first so we can get in here, get some of the soil out, and then I can start little by little here placing the hardwood floor down. Get these logs just so. Yeah, I remember campfire smell. Definitely remember the anti-mosquito spray smell. Oh, the mosquitoes were always so bad. I mean, you could go without mosquito repellent, but then you'd get bitten for sure. I almost don't know of anybody's cottage or camping story without bugs and mosquitoes. They are definitely part of the experience. Well, cats seem to be all right under the tree, staying dry. Let me just see if I can start the entrances here. And if you haven't seen any of my other episodes, I am definitely very new to Minecraft, so like I mentioned, there's no tutorials or anything like that. I'm learning as I go along. The bigger goal was just to have a nice friendly community and get a channel started here so we could all hang out together and just chill and keep each other company. But I think that's one of the reasons why people remember experiences more than buildings, because you remember the feelings, the smells, and the sounds. I remember we had a family of chipmunks nearby, and they would sort of run up to the front door, and they wouldn't beg for food, but you knew that they were just used to humans enough that they knew that if humans were around, there might be some snacks. And sometimes we did have peanuts or walnuts that we could offer them, which we would just place down and back away a little bit, and they would run in and grab it and then scurry off to wherever they had their little. I don't know what chipmunks have. Do chipmunks have dens or nests? Might have to Google that, but wherever they did have their hideaway, we made sure to leave them a snack once or twice when we were there at the cottage. this is looking better now. I do want to just see if I can get this. Trying to get all my stuff organized here. I do want to make a little kind of a half wooden, sort of half rustic path down to the river. So I kind of built this up on top so I could look down over the river, and that's why I chose this spot. Now you see here, if I connect that and go left a little bit, well, left from how I'm looking at it, because I want the boat dock to be a little bit further down there where that little chunk of sand is. First I'm just going to, just see here, even this out a little bit. Not really looking for anything too formal, as I do remember the cottage that my grandparents had. I mean, it was very functional, it had all the good foundations, but it wasn't always symmetrical, because the cottage was deep enough in the woods that there really wasn't an easy way to get landscapers out there or anything. Not that we would have been able to afford it, I don't think. We had a very humble cottage, but it was a really good one. It was cozy. Nothing fancy, but full of memories. Okay, if I just line this up, yeah, I think if I line it up this way, down a few stairs. Oops, out of stairs. Alright, let me see if I can find a tree here that I can just chop down. For now, I need a bit more supplies. Yeah, definitely remember digging in the sand with my little shovel and gathering sticks. That was always fun. Kids always find ways to... Uh-oh, hang on. Let's get ourselves inside. Okay, cats, we are not going to be in this thunderstorm. No, sir. In you go. No? Okay, in you go. Time to sleep. Come back. There we go. Let's just sleep off this thunderstorm. Phew. There we go. That wasn't too bad. Where was I? Oh, I was just thinking back to, yeah, gathering sticks and drawing in the sand, and I had this cute little pink tiny kitty shovel, I remember, and trying to make sandcastles and stuff, and I just remember breaking it because it was kind of flimsy, it wasn't really meant for anything too much, and being pretty upset about it. And then my grandparents were like, well, it's alright, there's no toy store that we can buy you a new shovel, but maybe if you find a special stick and make it your own, you can have a magic shovel. I guess that's the part of childhood of, you know, making something out of nothing, or making games, or coming up with imaginary things. Yeah, let me continue on here because I want this to be like a multi-level where I can run back and forth to the boat and then get up to the cottage, but I want it to look natural, because it wasn't too symmetrical at our place either. And yes, before we get too sleepy, by the way, if you find this video relaxing at all or fun, I'd really appreciate it if you help, YouTube recommend this video to others who might need it too. So you can do this by liking the video with a thumbs up or leaving a comment about, any of your favorite childhood memories. And that way we can become more visible to the algorithm. So thank you. But yeah, let's keep going. I'm just over here bashing some fish so I can save up for breakfast for the cats in the coming days. I still have a little bit more, but I spotted them. I figured I'd give them a little smack, and then we have... Oh, forgot one. Come back. Let me grab you so I can feed my cats in the morning. Get some nice raw salmon. And yeah, every cottage that I know of has little paths. Sometimes it's just foot-worn paths or little cobblestones to water or to fire pits. But I do want to get this kind of laid out. Did you ever do any fishing at any campsites or cottages when you were a kid? It's fun, isn't it? Yeah, let me get this leveled out here. I do remember all the fireflies, so that's one of the things that I made sure when I was first exploring to try to find this spot to gather a few firefly bushes so I could have it near the cottage. Now, where do I want... trying to think how I want to lay this out here to get it looking more natural. Get these. Get these two firefly shrubs. Oh, oops. Nope, not that way. Wait, is that lined up? No, it's not lined up. Hang on. Redo. Even the cats are telling me that's not evenly lined up. There we go. Eventually I want a little place. I remember we had 2 or 3 folding chairs just outside. We didn't have a porch, but we had like a little wooden deck or platform, if you could call it, just like a place, like a little step up, just like here. I kind of want to prep that a little bit. How are you guys doing? Are you dried off from the rain and the thunder? All right, let's rest for a minute. Just chill for a little bit. But yeah, I really want to get started on this dock. And I lost a little bit of footage, but as you can see, I got the pillars ready, but that's all I've got so far. So let me get started here. But yeah, the miracles of editing, I had to chop out some of my narration. So here we are. Let's resume back to the original. Yeah, this is going to be a simple dock. We didn't have a big boat. In fact, the neighbors just shared a rowboat, from what I remember, between us and the neighbors. And it wasn't too deep of a dock that I'm remembering. But yeah, a wooden rowboat, just enough to catch some fish and what. Hey, it's raining again. Oh, I love the rain. And you know, memories don't care about brand names or luxury. I just remember that people would go out, try to catch. Usually I remember somebody saying it was a pike that they were trying to catch. So I guess our lake must have been a lake that just had pike fish in it. I don't remember going out often, but here we go. Let me see if I can line these up just above the water. Oops. Let's go little by little. Just enjoy the rain and just start building up the walkway here. And cottages, you know, and camping and stuff, it's especially for little kids because it's all so new. You know, I've talked to friends and they kind of have the same sort of recollections that they remember different things. And, you know, one friend was telling me that she remembers for her cottage trips, because it was so far away, her family would have to pack a lot of non-perishables. So a lot of things like crackers and jarred and tinned goods. So to her, she remembers that, whereas it was like actually a fun thing to get, like the can of Spam. And I remember Ritz crackers and chunks of Swiss cheese and canned ham. That stuff like wouldn't easily spoil, so we always had backpacks of that, because it was, I mean, you could walk into town or, you know, hitch a ride, but it was a long way to get to the nearest kind of little mon-pa shops. So you kind of committed, like once you got to the cottage, you definitely committed to eating whatever you have on hand. So it was, yeah, it was canned ham, probably beef too. I think we had Spam. I'd bet we did. I bet we had Spam. All that saltiness. See if I can put some fence caps here. I think that will work. Well, you know, going back to the food, it's, I guess it's more of the just the feeling that everything tasted better outdoors and it was simple. And yeah, I mean, we didn't have Spam often at home, so it was a novelty. And it's like, oh, we're going to the cottage, so we're gonna have a treat. We're gonna have Spam sandwiches and crackers and cheese sandwiches and all that. It just makes for the fun of it. Just see here, I just want the edge of this. See if we can get some planks here. Try to make it blend in. So yeah, pardon me if my building skills aren't the best, but I have been watching some tutorials when I'm not playing for myself, so little by little I hope as I record my own videos that my own skill level gets better. And the one thing I really do like about this game is that you can always go back and fix things. So it's not like once you make it, that it's literally set in stone. So I'm probably going to be going with each episode, going back and doing touch-ups. And if you play the game and have any hits and tips, hey, feel free to pass them along in the comments. I'd love to hear them. Let's see if I can get this looking a little bit more natural. Not so much at a right angle. Hey guys! Ah, here we go. Got the stone going so I can make a little bit more. Also getting a little bit disorganized here. Another thing that I'll be building later on is a little storage shed. Just because I don't want to have all of this stuff in the cottage. See if I can put some lanterns up on those dock posts. Okay, I think that should do it. I think we're good. But yeah, in our cottage we did have, as I used to say as a little kid, a spooky shed. It was just a wooden structure. Didn't even have a lantern in it, so you used to have to go there with a flashlight. So nothing fancy like this, and that we could build here. But yeah, let me put up, see if I can reach and put these lanterns up here. Hang on. Maybe I'm just not close enough. Why is this not going? Okay, so it goes on. Is it these slabs? You can't put a lamp on a slab? Okay. Well, I'd rather have the lamps than the end caps, but oh, that works. That's one thing I'm kind of learning, is that Minecraft physics isn't always what I think it's going to be, but that's okay. We can improvise. And I don't know yet if I'm going to leave them tall like this, or if I'm going to chop them down in half and have the dock posts be shorter. I'll have to think about it for a little bit. But for now, for my first attempt, that's not bad. And then I was watching this other tutorial that said to just make smaller details, even if you don't see them all the time, as realistic looking as possible, just so that if you do catch glimpses of them, then your brain kind of feels like the scene is more real. So that I'm going to do next is just put some structural stone here. Let me just see, maybe right there. At the base, so it does look like it's genuinely being held up instead of just floating in the water. And the whole trick is to try to make it look kind of natural. And yeah, just trying to remember ours. It definitely wasn't perfect. It was a little rickety in spots, but it never collapsed, so it did its job. Yeah, let's finish this up a little bit. Okay, I think this looks alright. Yeah, I think. Can chip away at it a little bit more here. But yeah, so to just continue on a story that I mentioned earlier about, mushrooms and stuff. We were very lucky that there were non-poisonous mushrooms in the forest nearby the cottage. And thankfully, Grandpa did remember his skills from his youth. But I remember one of the things that he did mention, and I kind of I just had this thought now, is because I just mentioned watching the tutorials on YouTube for how to build all these Minecraft structures, and I do remember he had a field book, like a field guide on how to pick mushrooms in Canada, and he never went without it, even though he was very skilled and really knew his stuff. He really respected nature and never wanted to take chances with accidentally picking a poisonous mushroom. He was very stern in a good way, like just honestly for the safety of the family and the grandchildren or anybody that wanted to learn his wisdom. He never guessed. If he even had a little bit of doubt whether a mushroom was safe to pick and eat, he followed his hunch every single time, and he wouldn't pick it. Let me try get back to the Minecraft physics here. Okay, well, let me get the bottom of this end support piece. Then I will try to figure out why it's not connecting to the boardwalk plank there. Yeah, Grandpa's thing was to respect nature and to always be alert and to keep an eye out and to observe. And the biggest lesson that I could say that he gave anybody that wanted to learn from him is when you're out in the forest or wherever you're going mushroom picking, if it looks too good to be true, like if it looks picture perfect, that's probably a poisonous mushroom. If it has maybe, an ant crawling on it, or you see one little peck mark from an animal, or if you see maybe a little gnat, or just any little animal that might be near it or on it, or have already taken a little nibble out of it, then you can continue studying it to make sure that it's safe for humans as well. But if it's perfect and untouched and you don't see any animals in the area or any insects, noshing away at it as well, it's probably poisonous and you should avoid it. And that was a lesson I never forgot. Not that I know anything about picking mushrooms, but it was one of those, if I'm ever hiking and I get lost and I'm hungry, you know, never eat the picture perfect mushrooms. I mean, honestly, I probably would be too scared to even pick the ones that had a few bite marks on it, because they can be so close. The differences are so tiny between the good ones and the poisonous ones. I'd almost rather just not. Not that I'm a big hiker anyhow, but you have those thoughts of like, okay, yeah, on the times that I have gone, and I mean, I could have gotten lost. Luckily, I had snacks and I was prepared for the hike, but you kind of wonder to yourself, like, if I ever got lost, would I have to, start foraging? But let's see here. So we've got our 2 rowboats. Let's see if this looks good. Okay, let me just pause here for a second. What do you guys think? I'll give it a thought. Now yeah, so that's done. I don't want it too fancy. It wasn't a covered dock. Let's see what it looks like. Yeah, it looks kind of natural. So I'll have to think about those posts if I want them taller or shorter. Hey, fish. You gonna come visit? I've got some cats that I'll need to feed tomorrow. All the local wildlife. I know you can get mods and things, but sometimes I think it would be a little bit cool if just like the regular basic Minecraft could have extras like squirrels or chipmunks. Yeah, we definitely had those around the cottage. And while I never saw one, my mother always recollected a story from when she was young at the cottage. They definitely saw a moose one morning at about 4:30 in the morning. Great grandma just woke everybody up like, come on, quickly, to the window. And there was this gigantic moose just quietly, walking around, eating some vegetation. So yeah, I know my mom said she missed those kind of days, like just no structure, just fun stuff. You guys about done over here? Want outside? Or are we gonna go to sleep soon? And I have to name these 3. So if you'd like to comment on the video and give some suggestions about what to name these cute cats, go for it. I haven't decided yet. Yeah, let's chip away and get rid of some of this flooring so we gather more hardwood. Feels good to finish the dock, get that project done and out of the way. Yeah. I know, you guys, I will have to build you like a cute little, I don't know, like a climbing structure. I don't know how I'll do it, but I'll figure it out. Maybe just a little place for them. It's a little bit different because right now I have the carpet under the tree there for them that they can hang out and rest. Just chill. I don't quite know how I would build like a climbing or a scratching post, but that might be something for future episodes. You guys want to come for a quick little night walk with me? Come see how many mosquitoes we can wake up. gosh, oh my gosh, mosquitoes. Yeah, I personally don't like bugs, so bugs, spiders, mosquitoes, flies. Ugh. Yeah, I definitely remember having to have bug spray and mosquito repellent, and not like the mild kind, like the full with the DEET. They were as big as horses out there. And if you didn't even have a thin layer, then yeah, so we'd have to put it on a little bit on our clothing and just some exposed parts of our skin, and try not to use too much of it because it was like strong chemicals. But I mean, you absolutely got eaten alive by mosquitoes if you didn't. But yeah, let's go into the forest here a little bit and get some more wood. What's the matter, cats? You're not liking this? Not your thing? You want to go back? I swear sometimes when this game makes their sounds, it's like they're like, no, I don't want to. Nope, I don't. Okay, let me just make sure you guys are comfortable here. I know, guys, I do have to get some more resources, but you can chill. I'm gonna go get some. I'm imagining that I've got cool fresh air in the deep forest here. Not that I would ever in real life go in the middle of the night chopping wood in the deep forest unless I absolutely had to. I don't know what I would run into over there, but I don't really want to find out. Yeah, it's been nice putting together this. Glad you're keeping me company, and thank you wherever you are. Hope you've got your tea or your hot chocolate. I've got some decaffeinated coffee right now. Definitely not full caffeinated. Not a good idea. Just pretty diluted decaf. One thing Minecraft definitely got right about this part is the sound of the rustling leaves below your feet. I remember that much, and you can always, find stuff underneath the leaf litter in any wooded area. And nowadays, you do have to be a little bit careful in going into wooded areas to make sure you've got light-colored clothing and white socks, and being careful about ticks. Yeah, sadly, when I was young, I don't remember us worrying too much about it. Mind you, we didn't go into like the deep woods, and it was pretty shallow grass and leaf litter around the cottage. But yeah, let me see if I can pick up some of these vines that I started planting on these trees. One of the nice things about these is if you plant one, it'll kind of just start wrapping itself around the tree. I've learned from these tutorials that I've watched, and then you can use these to plant more for decorations to make it look more natural. You can mix it with cobblestone or stone to make it mossy, kind of give it like a little bit of a weathered tinge to it. Let's see where I'll put a few here, and not because I want to leave it there, but this will be a good place to grow some and keep coming back to collect it. And we're gonna start laying out the garden here. guys are so talkative tonight. Love it. Let's see. Excuse me. Let's see if I can find. Try to see. Can you put a vine on deep slate? I don't know if you can. Oh, mossy stone bricks. Okay, well, we'll go with that. Get kind of like that green look to them. Wonder if... Sorry, I just got distracted by the moon here. That is so nice. Look at this scenery. Moon, fireflies. This is fun. Sun is going to be coming up soon. Yeah, let me make this look... Oh, we have an escapee. You wanted to come follow me, did you? I thought you sounded kind of close. Alright, well, you sit there and just look out for any other visitors, and I'm going to try to make this retaining wall leading up to the cottage look as natural as possible. You guys want out? Yeah, you kind of... I get the sense you're getting impatient. Okay, so let's come over here to your favorite little spot. Come over here to the carpet, guys. Come on. Come over. Don't be running away too much. Maybe you want to come here? Yeah, they seem to want to... Okay, there we go. Alright, a little bit more of a natural area. So you guys chill over there. I will... Yeah, this nook right here looks like the good spot for the garden, because I'll be coming in from the boat when I come in from exploring. And then be looking up at the cottage. Okay, let's see. How much stuff from my previous gathering trip before? Got a little bit, but yeah, when I start exploring more, definitely want to get more flowers from different areas that I look at. Any gardeners out in the audience and in real life? Whether it's like an indoor plant or terrariums, or if you have a garden at home. Just see if I can. Looking for gravel. Wonder if there's... I saw some over here. Aha. There we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to mix the gravel with the regular dirt. When you do that, you get something called coarse dirt. Now, I don't really yet understand like what the benefits of that are. If anybody knows, please leave a comment. But I do know it looks a little bit different. And I think with coarse dirt, grass doesn't grow on it, if I remember correctly. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, this is what I'm going to use to make the flower beds, so that we can have that like rich soil look. I think I've found the right spot, but let me just put a few plants here just to see if it'll look good. You can always dig them up and reposition them in a minute, but just kind of want to do a mock garden here. Don't have it too fancy, just a little nook. Hopefully this has been relaxing for you and you're tucked in and just about ready to doze off. I normally remind people to do some deep breathing, breathe in and breathe out, and relax their jaw. I just realized I forgot to do that at the beginning of the video. So here's your reminder to roll your shoulders, let your neck muscles and your jaw and your eyebrows relax. We'll just finish up here with this garden. Oops. Spot going. I think that's why some of these simple places, whether real or fictional, why they stay with us. Maybe it's not because they're impressive or whatever, because life happened here. Memories happen here and adventures, and when I started building this place, I thought it was rebuilding a cottage. But now the more that I work on it, the more I think that I'm rebuilding moments. And, we were an ordinary family with ordinary summers, ordinary meals, ordinary days. But those ordinary days became the memory that we carried for decades. And we will remember the little things more than we remember the big things, and that quiet feeling of nature, the smell after the rain. So I think I've talked enough for now. So again, thank you for keeping me company. Please feel free to subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. I really appreciate you being here, so I will say good night wish you a good rest and a happy day. And I'll let the video carry me out, and I'll see you in the next video.